Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming here today to get your day started with a little morning mobility. So we're going to go through a 30-minute routine. Just get your body loose, get you started here for the day. One of the best ways to begin your day. I've got Coach Jacob on hand as well in the chat box. So if you have any questions about any of the movements that we're doing, any pain anywhere, feel free to post your question right there in the chat box, and Jacob will be happy to help. So we're going to dive right into it today without further ado. All you're going to need is a little bit of space, no equipment. I hope you've hydrated already this morning, so you should drink a little bit of water within the first 30 minutes of waking up, around 250 ml. Just get your metabolism going, but also to hydrate the body's tissues so that they can move more freely. We're going to get into it then. So when you've got your little space, you're going to lay down on the ground. We want to ensure, number one, we are relaxed. So laying down on the floor, we're going to take some nice deep breaths in through the nose, breathing in for a count of 4. Hold the breath in for another count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Then hold the breath out for a count of 4. So we are going in what we call box breathing. So if you can imagine, each side of the box is 4 seconds long. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold. And just keep working your way through that 4-second box breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth, holding on either end. And this is helping our tissues to relax. We're getting into our relaxed nervous system state. In order to create mobility and to stretch, we need to have relaxed, soft, movable tissues. Keep going. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. Always think, especially on the in, the air is going to come in like a wave. So it really fills at the tummy first, then your chest. Think about inhaling 360 degrees. So like a bike tire, it fills with air all the way around. Your body, your rib cage, everything is the same. Tummy rises up and everything fills and follows. Just do 2 more laps around your 4-second box. And then we'll slide your feet closer to your bottom. Just start to loosely rock those legs from side to side. Small little movements to begin with, not really letting the hips rise off the ground. And as you feel comfortable, start to increase the range of movement at the hips. Still working on those relaxing breaths. Deeply inhale, relax on the exhale. And now you're going to place your hands above your head, forearms onto the ground. And as you breathe out, you're going to slide the forearms as far overhead as you can. And as you breathe in, the elbows slide back to the side of your body. So breathe in, breathe out. The trick when we breathe out and reach is to keep, we call a rib flare. You create a little hinge point in your spine, which is something that we definitely would like to avoid. So keep breathing in on the down, breathing out, reaching only to the point where your ribs stop flaring from your body. One more. And then roll it onto your side now. Place your knees in whatever comfortable position you like. So you can go long or short at the hip angle. Arms out in front. And now we're going to take that top arm around the clock. So if my top arm is starting at 9 o'clock, it's going to sweep via 12 all the way around to 3. And then I swim back through the middle. Around the top of the clock. 9, 12, 3. Swim back through. 5 times. Let's keep it moving. Breathing out as I come over the top. So a little bit of rotation through the thoracic spine, but also working some rotation at that shoulder joint. Then go over to the other side. We'll do the same thing. So whatever position feels good for you at the knees, arms out in front of your body. Now I go from 3 via 12 over to 9. Swim back through. 5 reps. Breathe in. Breathe out as you go over the top. And next we'll sit up. If you were joining me here on Tuesday, we went through the process of CARS, controlled articular rotations, where we take a joint through its full range of motion. We're going to do that same thing here at the ankle. So start by getting your leg in a little bit of a lock with your forehand, with your hand on the forefront of your shin. Toes come up, and as if you had chalk, and bring it back the other way. We're going to go 3 in each direction. Controlled articular rotation at the ankle. It's important we look after the mobility we have at the ankles. What goes on there affects everything up the chain of your body. So if you lack mobility at the ankle, your body is going to seek mobility further up. So usually then it seeks to get more mobility at the knee. The knee is a joint that should have stability. That means then your hips get locked up because they compensate for the stability at your knee. And you can see this chain reaction going up the body. So what goes on at the ankle? One of the most important pieces. Other side, when you've done 3. Toes up. 3 big chalkboard circles. Try and make each one bigger than the last. Now, if you get to a point when you're doing any of these rotations where it feels like it's pinching, all you have to do is come around the joint. So if it was a circle, you get to the pinch point, have a little dip in that circle, go around it to continue. Get a few clicks or cracks. I know if the camera and the mic is picking up my cracks at the ankle. That's fine as long as they're pain-free. Good. And next, we'll go into a 90-90 seated position. So 90 degrees at hips and knees. We're going to start with as upright a torso as we can get here through the middle. Bow forward. My chest is still up. I'm not curling into a ball. But when I get there, I'm going to walk my hands as far around to the side as I can. I'm going to walk them back to the middle and then rise up. Bow. Chest is up. Walk your hands around into that hip. And then bring it back. We're just going to do this one 3 times. Bow into the hip. Hands walk around. You feel that stretch in your glutes all the way through. Rise up and we'll switch. Same thing. I'm in my 90 degrees, body upright. Come forward, so I'm bowing with a high chest and rotate around. Bring it back to the middle and back to the top. 2 more. Last time, breathing out as you go into the bow. And then controlled on your way around. Good. From here, we're going to rise up from a seated position into a kneeling position. If your floor is a little tough, I like a little extra padding time to time. You can get a cushion or roll up a towel or anything that's going to give you a little bit of comfort. Tail tuck. We've done this one a lot through the week. Shift your weight forward. Hip flexor has a little stretch. When you get there, take one hand across the outside of the knee and rotate as much as you can. We're going to pause there for 5 seconds. Bring it back to the beginning. We do that 3 times as well. Tail tuck, weight shift, hand, rotate. 5-second hold. 3, 2, 1. Back to the middle. Back to the top. One more time. Tail tuck, weight shift, hand across, and rotate. 3, 2, 1. Middle, up, switch sides. Exactly the same thing. So get your comfortable kneeling position, 90 degrees at hips and knees. Tuck your tail, repeat. Weight shift forward, hand across, rotate. 5-second hold. 3, 2, 1. Middle and back. 2 more. It's important we tuck the tail under at the beginning because that sets your pelvis in a posterior tilt, which allows the hip flexors to undergo a little bit more of a stretch. Lunge and rotate. Last time here. And to the top. We're going to go to 2 knees. You can kick your cushion out of the way if you've got enough support. We're just going to go hands and knees, heel sit. 2 seconds and back to the top. So my knees are placed around shoulder width apart. My toes are pointing into the ground. And I'm just doing this little heel sit or quadruped rocking position, which I'm going to do 5 times. Doesn't feel like there's a lot going on, but what's happening is your femur, the thigh bone, is internally rotating relative to your pelvis. Now that's a key part of any squat pattern or anything that undergoes hip flexion. A lot of people lack this mobility. That is something that we need to work on to ensure that we can work through full range at our hips. On this last one, you're going to hold at the bottom, one hand behind or at the side of your head. And as you breathe out, you're going to rotate that elbow and shoulder to the sky. Down, down. Other side. Hand to head, rotate. We get 3 of these each way. So I'm still in my heel sit. 3 thoracic rotations on each side. Check your differences. I was saying in the workout session yesterday that maybe you find a difference from one side to the next. It's very common and it's normal. We are not symmetrical beings. We want to have some level of similarity. If there's a big discrepancy from one side to the next, it's something we probably need to address. We're going to come up onto our feet next. So now we're going to get a little bit more dynamic through our movements. Shake it off. We're going to get right in to some hand walks. Feet hip width apart. I'm going to come down towards my toes. Walk the hands out to a point in front of your eyes. From here, you're going to push the ground away and take one hand to touch the opposite foot. Repeating on the other side. Then push the ground, butt into the air, and walk your hands back towards your feet. Rise to the top. So we go again. Hand walk out, just in front of your eyes, pushing the ground, one hand to the opposite foot. So we're getting a little shoulder flexion mobility there. Then I'm in a downward dog, and I'm going to squish my heels into the ground as I walk my hands back. We're actually going to get this one 5 times. May get your heart rate up a little bit as well. Hand walk out, push the ground, touch your toe. Same the other side. So I'm reaching for those opposites. Downward dog, hands bring it back. 3, we have 2 more. Breathing out as you go for that reach. Breathing out in the downward dog. You bring those heels to the ground. One more time. And shake it off. Shoulders, posterior chain, so through the hamstrings, low back, nice length throughout the whole system. 3-way lunge mobility next. So if I have one pivot point, which for me is going to be my left leg, you can come along with me on this one. We're going to take a step back, reverse lunge. My knee is just off the ground, and I'm going to drive my fingertips up to the sky. Back to the top. Left leg is still pivoting. Right leg goes forward. Cross my body and rotate. Back to the middle. Back to the top. Step out to the side. Spider-Man shoots his web across that knee. Rotate on the outside. Back to the middle. Same thing. Now my right is my pivot. Reverse lunge with tail tuck and reach. To the top. Forward lunge. Reach across and rotate. Back to the middle. Stepping out to the side. Spider-Man with rotation again. We keep flowing through this. So back to left leg stationary, right leg back. Reach, push to the middle. Step forward, across, add the rotation. Step to the side. Spider-Man, rotate high. Same then on the other side. Step, reach. Forward, rotate. Sideways, Spider-Man. One more on each side. Always breathe out when you go into the stretch. And the last time here. Making sure we're stable in all positions. Remember, mobility and stability go hand in hand. So we have to challenge both if we're to maximize our ability to use all joints. Good, shake it off. We did 3 on each side. Next, we're going to go deep squat to hamstring. So feet shoulder width apart. Ideally, have your toes pointing straight forward. From here, you're going to come down to grab a hold of your big toes. Pull yourself down, hips low into a deep squat. From that bottom position, where my elbows track inside the body, I'm going to rotate to the sky. Back down to my toes, rotate the other way. Butt comes up, little hamstring stretch there, and then I repeat. Pull down, deep squat with rotation. I'm going to do them in 2s. So there's 2. Stand it up. Hips get a little burn on that one, but again, lots of challenges through ankle, hip, thoracic, and shoulder mobility. The 4 key joints of the body where mobility is the number 1 primary focus. We go again for a double. Grab a hold of your toes. Deep squat. Rotate each side. Butt to the sky. And repeat. To the sky. Deep squat. And up. Shake it off. Give the hips a break. Last one. So last double. Toes. Deep squat. Drive the knees out. Rotate. Rotate. Toes. Hips to the sky. Last time. And up. Whew. Gets quite challenging. So you get a little burn, the hips start to get a little fire going. Tells you that your glutes, your adductors, Everything is working to stabilize whilst you're challenging mobility. So stable and strong in your end ranges of motion. We're going to finish as we began, light, recovered, and ready for the day ahead. If you feel good now, you can go ahead, after the end of this mobility practice, go back into our channel. There's a big diary of workouts building up there. Go ahead, select a workout from earlier in the week. Your body's loose, your body's ready. Now is a great time to go and do a 30-minute workout. If you're going from here straight to something else, we just want to reset the system with some relaxing breath work. So I'm going to lay down again as I did at the beginning, but instead of box breathing, we're going to work our familiar and popular 6-4-10. So the air is going to come in through your nose for 6 seconds, hold it in for 4, and then let it go through your mouth for 10. Just going to do this 5 cycles to wrap it up. That's going to help to reset your nervous system, leave you calm and refreshed, ready for what's to come today. So think of nothing other than those relaxing breaths. 6, 4, 10. 360 degrees as you breathe in. Tummy rises first, and then your whole body fills like a bike tire. Breathing in, hold, and out. Six in, 4 hold, and 10 out. As the air comes in, the tummy rises first. And as the air goes out, breathe it out through pursed lips. So it's like you're blowing up a balloon. As you guys continue there and bring your session to a close, I want to thank you for joining me here this morning. Hopefully now you feel a little bit better than when we began 30 minutes ago. You're ready for the day ahead. Little upgrade of the day here before you leave. When you're at the desk, at the table, wherever it is you find yourself doing your work today, take a few movement breaks. So every hour, try and get up. Some of these movements that we just did here in the session, just do one. One of these movements every hour, just to take a break from being fixed in that seating position. Guys, again, thank you very much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great day. Stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you again soon.